So last year I found out that I am 1/4 Palestinian, which is a huge part of you to not know about yourself, but here we are. That means that my dad's dad was full Palestinian, and oh my gosh, we always had a vague idea, right? We always kind of thought, like, I always heard, we're from somewhere on that side, you know, but I never knew, and much less did I know that it was gonna be so close to my bloodline. Finding out, I cried naturally. I found out at a funeral. Met some cousins that I never met before, but they told me, and it was surreal. You know, it felt like I knew there was a part of me that I didn't know about, but also it was conflicting with everything going on in the world, you know? And I don't really know how to process it privately, much less publicly. There's a lot that goes into it, but I just thought, like, you know, making this video is one thing that I can do, one small step I can take, and all I know is that I am so proud and so grateful to know that I am Palestinian. So I'm excited to keep learning about what that means and all that, you know. But I did find out last year at a funeral, and like I said, it was some cousins that I never met before, and they came up to me and they were talking to my brother, and I walked up and I was like, "Hi, who are you?" And they were just like, "We're your cousins." And I was like, okay, you know, and the thing is, they look Palestinian. They actually, you know, originally, like, from the first look, don't look Dominican. And so I was like, oh, okay, tell me more, you know? And they pulled out this whole, they first of all showed me a photo of my grandpa, which I had never even seen before in my life. And it was a picture of him when he was younger, and it was his parents and his siblings and how we're all related, and it was really cool to see the photo, and they explained everything to us, and they even explained the last name that we were supposed to have. And it's kind of a crazy story because we never had that last name, Seruje, because my grandpa didn't claim my dad when he was born. So my dad ended up taking his mom's last name, which was Rodriguez. And now I'm married, so I'm Wesley, but I was Rodriguez. And our last name was supposed to be Seruje, which is from the Palestinian side of us, which is actually pronounced Sruji. But when they went to DR, they didn't know how to pronounce it or spell it, so they like respelled it and came up with Seruje. So now the last name is Seruje. I don't know, it's really cool, very fascinating. I mean, my cousins have spent years actually developing like a whole family tree about this stuff, and it's been very fascinating to learn about. But that's how I found out. And after that, I stayed in touch with them. They sent me the website for our family. They sent us photos. They sent us all this information. And I can't explain to you how I felt. I mean, I was like, just blown away. Blown away. And it's been, like I said, a very confusing journey. It's hard to know that my dad didn't even know about where he came from. That has its own challenges, you know, of me feeling like, oh man, I wish we would have known. I wonder what life would have been like if we would have known this. Would we have more of the culture? Would we, you know? And then I find myself getting upset and having to forgive my grandpa for not being in our lives. And it just comes with so many mixed emotions. But there's a big dynamic within that, you know. I guess I'm just excited to like figure out what that means for me, and I wonder if like maybe I learned this now at this time, in this time of history, at this age, at this moment, for a specific reason that maybe only God knows. I'm not sure. But yeah, I guess we'll find out as I keep unfolding this journey. But another part of it that's challenging is that now there's this whole other side of me that I know nothing about and don't connect with at all, basically, right? And I want to. I want to know who I am. I want to know what I bring to the world and all that stuff, you know, and I feel like that's important to know. But even the part of me that I have known about my whole life, which is the Dominican side of me, that is something that I'm like just now kind of connecting with. And that brings up another set of issues, right? Or challenges, I guess I would say, because I started singing Spanglish covers and doing music in Spanish and English just a few years ago, just because I wanted to practice my Spanish, just because I wanted to connect with my roots a little bit. And I've been cooking more in Dominican dishes and just trying to connect more. I've always kind of felt just very felt disconnected from my culture, feeling like, you know, hearing people literally tell me that I wasn't Dominican while in the Dominican Republic. Or, you know, different things that I've experienced, people making fun of me for not speaking Spanish as well as I should, or whatever the case is, or even being told that I don't look Dominican, right? I mean, whatever, all of that is just part of my journey, but I've accepted that, right? And I've tried to use those things as like ways to fuel who I am now and to be proud of that, proud of my journey, and just say, you know what, that's okay, this is who I am. And so I'm just now breaking out into that. And so now to learn this whole other part of me is like, okay, it almost feels like starting from zero again, you know? Which is okay. I think, like I said, it all kind of happens for a reason, and I think that it's gonna make its way into my music. I really do think it's gonna make its way into just what I do, both the Dominican, the Palestinian side of me, I mean, all of it, you know? And I think that's what it's meant to do, and so thanks for just being on this journey with me. This is a crazy thing, and I'm grateful for it. However it came, I'm grateful for it. Make sure to follow, subscribe, and like this video. If you want to see more, make sure to just join the journey. Also, let me know if you have any stories like this, or if you have learned anything about your identity and how you've navigated. I would love to hear about things that you have gone through as well. And make sure to find me on Patreon. I have that there. I'm actually gonna upload a little snippet of a song that I wrote on the airplane, just about how I was feeling about this. So yeah, thank you for your support. All the links are below, and I'll see you